Hey guys, my name is Tristan Martinez and I'm doing this on anti-hazing to raise awareness and explain why we really do need to stop hazing and get it out of all things like college, sports, or even the military. I've gotten 3 interviews with some people who have very one-on-one experience with hazing, some who've been hazed, some who've seen hazing. One really important one is a vice president of a fraternity at Cal State Fullerton. He's kind of just giving us his fraternity's background in anti-hazing and how he really thinks that they can stop it. All 3 of these people would be really good candidates for the anti-hazing community, and they're a good standpoint to kind of start working towards ending hazing.
Yeah. My name is Richard. I'm 67 years old.
All right, hello, I'm Coach Derek DeWitt, new football coach here at Riverside Poly High School.
My name is Alex Foy. I go to Cal State Fullerton.
Right. I was in the United States Navy.
I come here with 21 years coaching experience. I coached at, I've been a head high school coach at Ohio, Illinois, and I've coached in Texas. I've been a head college coach, been an assistant college coach, and I've also worked for 2 NFL franchises, worked for the Chicago Bears, worked for the Indianapolis Colts.
And I'm the vice president of Sigma Nu.
Hazing, by definition, is the imposition or strenuous, often humiliating task as part of a program of rigorous physical training and initiation.
When I was in college, there were some guys who weren't very mature or become intoxicated.
Yeah.
They did some things that was very, very dangerous to their health and to others. Mm-hmm. So it can kind of be in good fun and good nature, but sometimes due to the maturity of the person or if they're intoxicated or not, that can lead to other things being dangerous or even harming a teammate.
Yeah.
Very bad. It's college level. There were some fraternities actually.
Yeah.
Who some of those guys were athletes. Some serious hazing started there, and guys were severely hurt.
Like
actually, the fraternity I pledged, I wasn't able to cross the line because our line was canceled.
Oh, really?
Until the very last guy that got in trouble graduated. And so I was never able to be a part of that fraternity. I'm talking about concussions, guys being knocked unconscious, severe bodily harm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, another hazing incident that a very good friend of mine, his cousin was a victim of hazing, and his cousin died.
Oh, wow.
Because of a fraternity hazing.
Yeah.
And so it was very, to this day my buddy don't really talk about it today at all.
Yeah.
It was sad, the guy's life is gone. Mm-hmm. But that was a part of a college hazing incident where he was murdered.
Yeah.
Because of some really immature, stupid people.
In the service, they teach you to act as a team. Mm-hmm. But you don't know any of the people you're with. You don't know the drill instructors. You're going into boot camp. The first night, they keep you there from 5 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the morning the next day. No sleep. Every time you see somebody with an aglet on their arm, you got to stand up to attention and salute. Mm-hmm. And you're doing this all night long, and it's just hurry up and wait. Then you get to bed about 2:30. About 4 o'clock in the morning, the drill instructor comes in and throws a trash can down the middle of the floor and says, "Everybody up and out now." It's freezing outside, you're barely dressed, and you're standing there at attention freezing while this guy's sitting there yelling at you, just getting you used to the drill instructors. And you go through that for 2 or 3 days. Okay. Then, after a while, you learn that if one person messed up, the whole group was punished.
Yeah.
You'd have to exercise, or we had to pick up our bunks and walk around the barracks.
There were some situations in Ohio at a friend of mine's team where I think the athletic director, the head coach, everyone involved was fired.
Oh, wow.
There was a young men took hazing way too far in Ohio, where they actually sexually assaulted a kid because of hazing. They thought it was a rites of passage for some things.
Yeah.
They were like, it happened to us, so we're going to do it to you guys too.
Yeah.
So thankfully this young man reported it, and so people lost jobs, people were removed from the team, and I believe criminal charges were filed.
Yeah.
So there are some situations that I've been aware of that went way too far.
If one person messed up, the whole group messed up. Well, you had one of the guys, you picked one of the guys in your group to be a member or the leader, a platoon leader or company leader, whatever they called it. And he was nothing more than the choice of the head drill instructor. Well, what would happen is if you got somebody that didn't shower and they were stinky, I never participated, but this team leader would, and I'm sure the drill instructors knew it, they would instruct this team leader to get a group of guys, and they'd take this poor kid in the shower and scrub him down with a brush. And it was nasty. I mean, he'd come out bleeding. I never joined. I never got involved.
Yeah.
If you had a guy that was constantly messing up and causing the drill team to run an extra 5 miles or do this or do that, that was being a penalty or a negative impact on you, they had what they called a blanket party. Again, I'm sure the drill instructor instructed the person in charge of the barracks, because if things didn't get done, that guy was gone and another guy was in charge. To get a group of guys, what they do is they go up and throw a blanket over the dude and beat him up.
Yeah.
And that's called a blanket party. And there was a lot of stuff that went on like that. It was
Player that I found out he was hazing. It meant to for some freshmen. They actually, I found out they were tasing freshmen.
Oh wow.
The kind with the prongs that fire
Yeah.
out. They had to take their shirt off and stand there, hands back, and they're shooting these kids and tasing them. But the guys who were doing the hazing, they thought it was cool, so they pushed the freshmen out the way, so they started tasing each other.
Oh, okay.
So I think one guy did have like a heart murmur or something, so it could have been really bad.
Yeah.
So, but we found out who did it. It stopped. There was some discipline issues.
Obviously, the drill instructors were pretty big when it came to all the, I would say, hazing or just all the stress that you guys went through. How would you say that impacted your relationship with them?
Oh, we didn't like the drill instructors.
Okay.
We didn't like the drill instructors at all.
For me, it's like kind of a respect factor that, we're all grown men, even though you're like 18, 19 years old. Like, for me, it's a respect factor because, you're a grown man. I'm not going to tell you to do, like, stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because, like, because we have a 10-week process, in about, 16, 17 weeks, you're going to be on, like, sitting right next to me during meeting, and same letters, saying that. So I don't really think it's worth it, because it puts people in, like, a wrong mentality. They wrote a book about it, about how it kind of brings people together and stuff. But for me, like me personally, I think it would kind of divide people.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of that mentality of, a couple weeks later, you're going to be sitting in the same room. And if that guy, like, pretty much, like, going off the stereotypes of hazing, like, paddled you or, like, shoved food in your face or did some stupid shit to you or made you eat this, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it'll, like, divide you, because you're always going to have that fear factor when you really shouldn't. As an active, you should be united as one.
That is a subject that parents, educators, and players need to be aware of, and is use their good judgment, because like I said, my good friend, his cousin's life ended because of a hazing incident. You never get that guy back. Some people thought it was funny, but he died, and it was a horrible situation. The open communication, and the more coaches know about their players, the better it'll be. The trust factor is there. The more the adults or people in charge are involved and know their guys, and then that right there can alleviate a lot of potential bad situations.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's like two things. It's more of like a respect factor it's like a respect factor in speaking up. Because I think ultimately in college, that's the two biggest things that kind of get swept under the rug, is like speaking up for yourself. Because if you think you're being hazed, or you think other people are hazing someone else, like, you should use your voice to step up. And I think the biggest thing is reporting it. Because I think that people get scared that if you report it, those guys aren't going to like you, and they're going to kind of like distance you or scapegoat you from that. So I think it comes down to like reporting and kind of making sure that you take the necessary steps to like make sure it stops.
Yeah, knowledge, and then people just not turn their head to it.
Yeah.
like, you know, sometimes, you know, parents would be like, oh, that's just what we do. Those boys will be boys. It's okay. You know, it's amazing how some parents, they have a worse attitude than administrators sometimes, you know, than coaches.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this part's what we do here. They've been doing it for years. It's okay. But, you know, you really need to just use a lot of wisdom.